Bitcoin
I agree.
rally is due to crypto adoption of Bitcoin.
Agreed.
You know, this is a catalytic event, Scott, that has rallied the entire crypto community behind Bitcoin because we were at war with each other a year ago. Trying to go fix the rest of the world is a fool's errand. You know, we're not going to fix everything else. There's 100 other things that we could dwell on, but they're above our pay grade. And you want to fix that, you need $25 trillion to make a dent at that thing.
One of the largest proponents of the dominant crypto asset in the world is without a doubt Michael Saylor, the former chief executive officer and co-founder of MicroStrategy. The largest Bitcoin holding of any publicly traded company in the world is held by his software and business intelligence company, which has over 130,000 Bitcoin. The American investor and businessman personally owns almost 17,700 Bitcoin, which he purchased for an average price of $9,800.82 per coin. According to Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin standard is the only option to stop the ongoing devaluation of the US dollar, whose value has been steadily declining over the past century. However, the executive chairman of MicroStrategy believes that Bitcoin signifies much more. He views Bitcoin as the digital asset ecosystem's future, the rock upon which everything in the space has been built and will continue to stand. Michael Saylor recently shared his opinions on the ongoing U.S. financial crisis and its effects on Bitcoin and the whole crypto ecosystem, in a conversation with Scott Melker on Twitter Spaces. He claims that the Bitcoin surge is not a result of the general public buying Bitcoin but rather the existing cryptocurrency investors, reluctantly accepting Bitcoin's position as the dominant crypto asset across the board. During the conversation, he emphasized that despite recent price increases, the larger rally from mainstream investors has not yet started. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable post notifications for more content like this before we listen to the incredibly informative conversation between Melker and Saylor. Also, make sure to share your thoughts and observations in the space below. Thank you, and have fun watching the video.
MicroStrategy is hosting a Lightning for Corporations conference. It'll be the first one in the history of the world. We're going to have thousands and thousands of global 5,000 companies and IT people, and they're looking at how do I build Lightning into my corporate apps. And I think that if you look at the subtext here is, if everybody's afraid of everything else, but I've shown you a way to move money over IP in a open, permissionless fashion that's ethically sound, that's economically sound, and that's technically sound, then again, I've invented money over IP. TCP/IP changed the world. Voice over IP changed the world. Money over IP will change the world. There's been this struggle about what is money over IP. Well, it's got to be an open, permissionless protocol. You can't own it. If Linus Torvalds had owned 20% royalty on Linux, it wouldn't be Linux. Steve Jobs declared war on Flash, and he elevated HTML, HTML5, and he elevated other open protocols because he understood that you can't assert proprietary ownership on this stuff. In fact, it was, I'm old enough to remember when DECnet, and Token Ring were the networking protocols, and they were owned by Digital and IBM, and they went to zero. And TCP/IP, which was thought to be, this technically complicated protocol that was too hard to use and not business friendly and the like, it destroyed everybody because it was open information. It was information on IP, and eventually voice over IP did the same thing. Initially, it was college girls talking to their boyfriends on Skype, and then it turned the world upside down. And I think money over IP is the same thing. So I think that would be my framing of everything going on right now. Bitcoin is an idea whose time has come. I don't think, by the way, Scott, I don't think that the Bitcoin rally is due to mainstream adoption of Bitcoin. I think the Bitcoin rally is due to crypto adoption of Bitcoin.
Agreed.
This is a catalytic event, Scott, that has rallied the entire crypto community behind Bitcoin because we were at war with each other a year ago. I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried and all of the other crypto ideas, of which there were probably 25 of them, they were frenemies and they could not agree. And I think that when FTX melted down, I think it was a come to Jesus moment for crypto people, because they realized that we really have to put our differences aside and agree on one thing, which is Bitcoin is good, right? And if you want to boil this down, like, my view is Bitcoin is open, permissionless, digital commodity. Nobody controls it. Everybody has to pay their way into it. If I want to have Bitcoin, I put $4.2 billion of real cash into Bitcoin. And if I say the wrong thing, the maximalists shred me tomorrow. And I know that I don't have any control whatsoever over the protocol, even though I paid $4 billion to buy into it, because it's everybody's property. And so Bitcoin is this common thing we can all agree on and nobody owns. Everything else, they're all good ideas, Scott. Digital tokens, Tom Brady token, Katy Perry token, NFTs, they're good ideas. 24/7, 365 trading is a good idea. Being able to launch 100,000 securities a million times cheaper than the 20th century way, it's a good idea. DeFi, a good idea. They're all good ideas, but they all have risk and complication to them. And for the most part, it's like companies with equities, and you need to build a company, build the equity, and fight the regulatory wars and the political wars. And so I'm not going to endorse any company, no matter how good an idea it is. I'm not going to, like Bitcoin miner. You're a Bitcoin miner, but is it a good idea? Maybe it is until the regulators shut it down in China. It's like they all have risk. And so I think when the crypto community says, hey, we have a lot of good ideas, but there is one great, insanely great idea that we all have to support. And that one insanely great idea is Bitcoin. And if we make Bitcoin the reserve asset of the crypto ecosystem, and if we focus on what made the Bitcoin network anti-fragile, then at least we've found our moral bearings, our economic bearings, and we found our technical bearings. And you can build a world based upon that foundation. But if you run away from that foundation, you're building on a bed of sand, and everything is fragile and it all crumbles under your feet. And
totally agree.
And so that's why Bitcoin is rallying right now. And we're still early days with regard to the mainstream community getting it. I'll make one more point now and I'll shut up. My last point is we're still 0.1%, 0.2% of the mainstream finance world. And so everything going on in the crypto ecosystem and the Bitcoin world is really just a sideshow. What happens in this mainstream opera? The regulators, the politicians, they're going to fight and they're going to take lots of action to stabilize that. That's above my pay grade. We're not going to fix that. There's a lot of complicated stuff that's going to go on. What you can expect is this is just taking us from 0.1% to 0.2% to 0.4% to eventually 1%. And when Bitcoin is trading at 10x where it is right now, we're going to be like a 1%. And the main show is still going to be conventional banking. And so that's why I would say, if you've got some energy in life, why do I have laser eyes? The laser eyes is save what you can save, fix what you can do, what you can do. We can make Bitcoin successful, and we can build an ethical, sound, rational set of applications and a framework around it. If we start from Bitcoin, trying to go fix the rest of the world is a fool's errand. We're not going to fix everything else. There's 100 other things that we could dwell on, but they're above our pay grade. And you want to fix that, you need $25 trillion to make a dent at that thing. And so that's not going to happen for the individual or anybody on this space.
Right. And I don't believe that it has to. I think that you're 100% accurate in your assessment that this is largely crypto native moving into Bitcoin.
What do you guys think about Michael Saylor's forecast for the next stage of Bitcoin? Comment your thoughts down below at the comment section. Do not forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Market Empire. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.